Hey Goth Girl, as you're the first person here, you'll have to let me know if the sound's okay and everything. I have no clue, if I'm honest. Hello. This is going to be interesting. So I'm set up in my games room slash hobby room and a little bit quiet. Okay, well I'll turn it up a little bit because I've not got the microphone up all the way and it's not right next to my face like it is normally. Different microphone as well, which probably doesn't help. Yeah, so this is something that I'm going to try. Hopefully it's going to work okay. There we go, yeah. I just needed to put it on full. And let me know if the music's too loud or if you can't hear it at all. I hope you can. I spent ages trying to get it sorted yesterday. So. Hey Kian, how you doing, friend? Hello. The weirdest wave ever. Music is good. Just right. Fabulous. I'm so glad. So I figured it was about time I put the first part of my handle, you know, to the test. And I'm actually going to start doing a regular hobby stream, hopefully, if this works. Full disclosure, we don't have any kind of like hardline or anything in the hobby and games room, so I'm not sure what the net quality is going to be like, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it'll be okay. Oh my god, Kian, congratulations! Hey Zatheo, how you doing today, friend? So before I get started on building more Space Marines, I'm going to show you what I've built already. Most of it's just like standard. Yes, I am doing hobbying. I am actually being the hobby squig tonight. So, let's see how that's going to work best for you guys. There we go. So, it's my aspiring champion, I think. He's straight out of the box. I've not done anything fancy to him. Couple of these dudes. These are the guys I actually built that made me decide I wanted to do this. Him too. Hey Manimal, thank you very much. Hope you have a lovely evening too. Oh good, I'm glad to hear it. It's not the best webcam in the world, but it's the spare one that we had. Basically it was Slow's webcam and he wasn't using it, so I've pinched it. But, you know, eventually I'll look at upgrading to something a bit more fancy when the world isn't eating itself. My spider tank. I've got some really big plans for this guy in terms of like paint schemes and stuff, so I'm gonna leave him until last to paint. Because I don't want to fuck him up, basically. He's like a really big important part of my team. So then I've got the old raptor that Slow got for me, which is where Vulpir's jump pack came from. I will show you Vulpir in a minute. Hey Graphically, how you doing? Got a possessed. And this dude, who I started base coating. Those of you that were about when Purge the Pit was happening will probably recognise this guy, because this is the guy I was base coating at Purge the Pit and have not base coated at all since then. Oh no, Goth Girl, I hope your net sorts itself out. We've got this dude as well. So these have all come out of the big box set that came out a little while ago. Though I've got some dudes with batty heads and I've pinched some bits and bobs from Slow's massive collection of Space Marine parts. So like this guy, he's a little bit excessive. It's like proper Batman. I love his little helmet. And this guy, who I really wanted to put, I bought the Forge World Night Lord's pauldrons, and I really wanted to put the pauldron on him, because I thought that'd look really nice on his particular build. What I didn't realise was that was going to be really difficult, because his pauldrons were affixed to his shoulders. So I had to cut the shoulder off and then green stuff him a new shoulder to put the pauldron on. The things we do for art, eh? Right. And then we've got some of the Space Marines that I've built that are basically the grimdark version of Supermarket Sweep. So I don't know a lot about a lot of 40k stuff, if I'm honest. I'm relatively new to the lore. I just really like the models, and yeah. So I don't know a lot, but what I did learn was that Night Lords have a habit of taking, shall we say, trophies from other Space Marines that they've killed. And what I thought would be really neat is if my Night Lords could have a little bit more character by having, for example, a little bobbly pauldron. Don't know if you can make that out on the camera all that well. I don't get to choose where it focuses to, I'm afraid, Goth Girl. It's a little bit finicky like that. It's not a particularly fancy camera, unfortunately. I think he focuses about there, doesn't he? Oh, graphically, you need flat caps. I have loads of flat caps. I will post you some. So, today is mostly going to be building these guys. It's not going to be particularly exciting, I've got to admit. I'm not going to be doing any painting because I want to sort of batch base coat everybody. But yeah, I got some dudes to build, and I figured I would build and chat with you lovely folks. Also, reference to a previous conversation with somebody on Twitter who may or may not be in chat. Bag of Space Marine heads. Because you never know when you're going to need a spare. Hello, Cyborg. How are you doing, friend? Right. I'm just going to lean over and get me instructions. So, you get a bit of a t-shirt shot there. Sorry about that, folks. But there's like 3 or 4 different poses included in this box set, and I don't want to get the wrong one. Which I think is fair. Very sleepy. Been at work since 5. Oof. Cyborg. Well, hopefully this little hobby happy hour can give you a little bit of time to sort of chill and regroup. Because that's kind of what I was hoping for. Especially seeing as people voted for it to be midweek. They're not my snips, they're slows. I can tell because they've got no tension left in them. That's better. I think I do have a red one graphically. I'll take a look after I finish streaming, and if I've got a red one, I will send you one. So, in case anybody's wondering, I am using knockoff God Hand snips, which are actually pretty good. They're not the best, but I've found them to be a little bit more friendly than the classic Citadel snips, so I quite like them. Okay, who are we going to start with? One thing I've always hated about these sprues is that the numbers just are nowhere near each other. So I spend ages hunting for pieces. This will be quite interesting. I don't know if I can do this on cam. I'm going to try. Yeah, there we go. So, a trick that Slow taught me for taking minis off of the sprue. Initially he taught me this when I was building my first Gunpla kit is that you actually don't trim right next to the miniature, you trim just away from it, so you've got that little bit of sprue hanging off the edge there. And then what you can do with that is you can either carefully snip it off, or you can do what I'm about to do, and you can blade it off. Wire cutters are good too, Kian. Yeah. Now, I'm a big believer in a good, nice sharp blade. I go through them really quickly as well because I use them for a lot of stuff. A lot of people use sand. Yes, I'm making Night Nerds. A lot of people use sandpaper for sort of getting rid of mould lines and stuff, but I don't. I like to use a blade, which is weird, I know. And if I'm struggling particularly with a bit, I'll go to the snips, but I like to loosen it up with the blade first. There we go. Yep, that's gone on the floor. Oh, did anybody see the, I think it was Face app that it was done in? Female Primarch artwork that somebody's put on Twitter. Because, oh my god, Comrade Curse. When's Brody streaming, Cyborg? I think I've got her set up on my auto host list, but if not, I'll definitely get her on there, because Brody's a good bean. Oh, if anybody wants to request a song, I know it already says it on the screen, but you can type !SR into the chat and then put a YouTube link and it will get the song added to the playlist. And I think if a viewer requests something, then it goes above all the stuff that I've put in the playlist, so you should be fine. Yeah, Kian, it was really cool, didn't it? Really, really cool. I did love the fact that there were so many people in the comments just like, I want this Primarch to step on me, or things like that. It's like, damn. Warmongers be thirsty. Yeah, that'll be fine. These are feats. No one sees the feats. Boop. Just flatten them off. About 7:30. Cool. Well, I'll be finished by then, because as the name suggests, this is only going to be for an hour. Because that way I can like get some food and stuff and get ready for work for tomorrow. Being a grown-up is fun, isn't it, folks? There we go. See, that's what's supposed to happen when I blade a piece of the flash off. There we go. Yeah, so I go through blades quite quickly because of the fact that I do it this way, but it's a way that I'm comfortable with. So there are things that I can throw in there to stop people from being able to do certain things. I've set it up at the moment so that songs can't be over a certain length, and the YouTube video has to have more likes than dislikes. I will, if needs be, make adjustments to that. But I trust you, so be nice. there's also a blacklist function, so if we get to a point where people are requesting certain songs and we don't want them playing, I will blacklist them. I don't know if there's a way for me to give you permission to do that as well, Goth Girl. But yeah, I've been playing with Streamlabs chatbot over the last like 2 or 3 days, and I have found some really fun little things you can do with it that I think will be quite fun for my gaming streams. I'm not going to tell you what any of them are yet, but you'll see when we get there. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping that if this goes well and folks enjoy and sort of enjoy the chill music and the chatting and me talking you through what I'm doing with my Space Marines, that it'll become a bit more of a regular thing. Where did I get the mat? I got the cutting mat from the range, believe it or not. It came as part of like a card making kit or something like that, or a scrapbooking kit. You can get the most amazing bits and bobs for doing miniature work at the range, and they have a website as well. So what's wrong, Sam? Is it Gene Hunt? Is he kicking in a nonce again? I mean, this guy doesn't have a head, but if he could, he'd be nodding. We've finished watching that again now. It must be like the 14th time we've watched that series. We should probably watch something else. All those lovely new series that we've not watched, and we just keep going back to Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. There's something disturbingly comforting about it though. In spite of how much of a terrible person Gene Hunt is. Okay, so I want number 8. Let's see if chat finds number 8 before I do. Should be interesting considering the Zoom problems. Ah, there it is. Oh, Cyborg, you should do it. That'd be awesome. Not enough resolution to see the numbers. Ah, I guess I win this one then. Yeah, I mean, I might swap this camera and Porthos cam out. But then, of course, you'd have a lower resolution image of Porthos, which is a crime in its own right. You see, this piece here is perfect for whacking off with a blade. And I know I said the W word and then followed it with the O word. Don't make any jokes. Oh, that's fabulous, Cyborg. There we go. Oh, this one's nice, isn't it? Yes, that's very true, Goth Girl. So probably for next week, if I remember. Excuse me, Fly. You shouldn't be on my cutting board. Off you pop. Yeah, for next week I'll swap the cameras out. Might take a bit of fandangling. Hey Ivan, how you doing, buddy? And yes, I know phrasing. I've had a long day. Leave me alone. You know, it's been ages since I've seen you, Ivan, but I still hear it in your voice. Hello. Hey, Barnett, how you doing, friend? Long time no see. Yeah, but you can actually hear me, Ivan. There we go. Oh, well, that's just a very awkward place to have put that, isn't it? Okay. There we go. Came off okay, though. That's alright then, isn't it? I'm being lazy on this one. Ready? Pew! Just hit my Greater Possessed with that then. It'll be fine. Hey Buff Grinch, how are you doing? Ah, I see what you mean, Ivan, yeah. Well, like I said to Cyborg earlier, hopefully we can all get a little bit of calm out of this hobby happy hour. Hoping having it on a Wednesday evening is going to be beneficial for a lot of us. It's certainly going to mean my Night Lords get done quicker. Because I have done exactly this much hobbying since all this mess started. Oh no, tell a lie, I built some dudes last week. But that's it. There we go. Right, that's 2 bits prepped. Oh, these, Goth Girl. These are my compression gloves. I got them from Amazon, which I know, boo Jeff Bezos, but it's literally the only place I can get them from with them coming in a decent amount of time, because they're actually keeping my joints from swelling, which means that I can do these nice dexterous things. And they're really comfy as well. I opened a Shadows box and then you bought me a game. Well, I'm sorry, Ivan. I'm not really. Not in the least bit. Okay, so gonna get the old gorilla out. I may not have to beat the devil out of any paintbrushes, but I will beat the devil out of my glue. Oh dear, that's not a good sign. Yeah, they're really, really good. If you search for Dr. Arthritis or compression gloves on Amazon, you'll be able to find them. I think Dr. Arthritis has a website as well, so if you're okay to wait a little while, then you could get them direct from them and do it that way. Trying really hard not to get my head in camera, because then you won't be able to see anything at all. Yeah, you'll probably notice as we go through, in terms of the tools that I use, I tend to stray away from the GW stuff. I've found things that personally work for me. If you folks use GW stuff, that's fine, you know? Everybody has their own preferences, and it just turns out that my preferences are Army Painter, Knockoff God Hands, and Gorilla Glue. Fucking love Gorilla Glue. I will sing its praises to the high heavens. This version, as much as it's kind of gummed up, has both a brush and a little nozzle, so if you only need a really tiny pinprick of glue, you've got that option there, but you can just brush it on like I do. I've just noticed a little bit of mould line left there, so I'm just going to deal with that before we go any further. Got good taste, Kian. I use the Army Painter brushes. They have one called the Psycho Insane Detail, which I like to use for everything. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Give me a sec. I will show you. So I did say I was going to show you him. I will show you my one painted Night Lord and my Eldrad Ulthran. Okay. So I'll show you Eldrad first because I painted him first. He's about 4 years old now, I think. Maybe 3. I'm not very good at time. So this is Eldrad. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this if I bring him closer, so we'll try and hope for the best. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Rice Man. Yeah, so sorry about the camera quality, I'll fix that next time, but I don't know if you can see that. Oh, thank you for the follow, Barnet. Friendrad. So, if you can see this, all of the runes on the edge of his cloak, they're all free-handed. I did those with the Psycho Insane detail brush from Army Painter. And he's got this little cloak. So I did a couple of modifications to him. Basically all of the painting I do, I think about how I want something to look and then I Google instructions on how to do it. And this particular Eldrad, some of you may have seen a piece of fan art that was done of him where he's on a snowy mountaintop and he's got this big sort of fur shawl on his shoulders. He's not got his helmet on, he's looking very sort of pensive. And I absolutely fell in love with that piece of artwork. It was the reason I wanted an Eldrad Ulthrand model. So when I got one, I tried to recreate it as best as I could. Yeah, that's right, Ivan. So yeah, he's probably about 3 years old now. 2 or 3 years old. We've been here for nearly 3 years, so yeah, he's 2 years old. And then this is my pride and joy. This is Jakan Vulpir, Mighty Night Lord, TM. Mumborg is brilliant and you should give her a hug. So yeah, this is actually the only reason that I've started playing and painting Night Lords is because of this guy. So Slow is running a Black Crusade campaign in which I am playing Jakan Vulpir, the Mighty Night Lord. He is a Night Lord's Raptor. He is cocky as all heck. And he is actually pretty badass. Like, I roll really well when I'm playing as him, so I do some really cool stuff. And Slow said that if we had fizz reps of our characters ready for the next session, we'd get bonus XP. So I went the whole hog. Slow got me a box of the current raptors, so the plastic raptors. You can see, you might be able to see actually, that there's some spiky bits left on him. I got some extra bits off of Slow and off of the net. So I got a chain glaive, I got the jump pack from a metal raptor, and a beaky helmet from Slow. And then his little bat ears, if you can see them, they're actually made out of a silver type brass etch stuff. And what I did was I took a Night Lord's transfer, pasted it onto the brass etch and then cut around it to make his ears, and then I just sort of stuck them to his head and painted them. And it's crude, but it works. And I think he looks quite neat. And I used Duncan Rhodes's tutorial for painting Night Lords to figure out how to get the lightning effect on his armour as well. And I free-handed the Night Lord's emblem, which was probably a mistake, but, you know, it gives him character. So they're the two painted 40k miniatures I actually still have that aren't dead. And I am aiming to have every single Night Lord in my army the same quality as Vulpir. So this is going to take a while. He does have a skull on his helmet, Barnet. I painted like a Punisher style skull onto his face because I thought that would be really rad. And also suited the shape of a beaky helmet better. Thank you, Buffrinch. Ave Dominus Nox. I think graphically he means that you are a delicious pastry. And that's not a bad thing. Oh, a Slow has joined us. Hello, Slow.
Why do I have the chat up there?
Because my hobby map's here. So I can look at the phone.
Okay.
But thank you for your technical suggestion.
Got there yesterday.
It should be here by 7.
And forgive
This
my...
is like super profesh, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Jack?
was saying, forgive my unprofessional barging in, but I hungry. I hunger. Feed the Slow.
Oh, Kian. You mean the Arendevsky Bowden one?
See, she can't. Hobby can't read it, but I can. Hello, Cyborg. I see you. Hello, Kian. Hello, people in the chat. I see you there. Being sociable. The walls in this house are very thin. I heard everything. And the answer is Shadow Spear. They're the CSMs from the Shadow Spear release.
Thank you, dear. See, Slow knows everything. I can't remember words and names and things.
That's now discontinued in a big way because Ninth is coming.
Yeah, that's now discontinued in a big way because Ninth is coming. I know that bit.
Also, to discuss the hobby thing, Overwatch has changed.
Yes, I know. Wib
It's fucking gone.
Wib is feeling nervous about this turn of events from what I've seen. Anyway, bye, Slow.
All hail the Assault Army.
Oh dear. I'm gonna get my shit pushed in next time I play against him, aren't I? He's gone now, Cyborg, but I'll pass the message on later. Right. So, now that that interruption has finished, thank you, Distraction Carnifex. So Kian, you said you need to finish the first Night Lords book. Do you mean the Arendevsky Bowden one? Slow, if you want to interact with chat, just open the chat up and talk to them. Oh my god. He's just hanging around by the door looking at chat on the big screen.
No, I forgot to get a cat.
Such a weirdo.
Crackjack Operation.
I finished that, actually this time last year, I think, and started on the second one. Use your big boy words, Slow. Thank you, Goth Girl. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's worth putting the time in for. I started reading them for for research, believe it or not, for my Night Lord's army and for my character in Black Crusade. He doesn't have big boy words. No, just very loud words. C9 and C11. Right, let's actually build some stuff now, shall we? Now that Slow is not distracting us anymore. If I can find the parts. Oh yes, that's a good bit. That is a good bit. Don't want to ruin the gun. I'm going to snip that one off right at the edge because nobody's going to see that. And we can argue that it's muzzle flash. Boop. Number 9. Hey Destroyer, how are you doing, friend? He does communicate in Air Raid Siren, you're right. C11. Oh, I don't have any batty heads left, do I? Oh, that's a pity. You know what? We're going to give him a different head to the head that it tells us to give him. Because heck the rules. It's time to spin the wheel of craniums. What we got? Nah. Ooh, that one's sufficiently gribbly. We like that one? Crimson Fists are cool, Barnet. I like that one. keep that one to one side. I really want to find a use for this head, because this is a cool head. But we'll see. Exactly, graphically. Fug rules. I think I'm going to go for one of the particularly pointy heads. I think I'm going to go for this head. I like this head. What do we think? I'm sorry you're feeling low, Goth Girl, and I'm glad that you're feeling a bit better now, Destroyer. I'm afraid I've not been much help when it comes to people feeling down recently, and I'm sorry about that for anybody that feels like I've, you know, not been around for them. I do try. Things have been weird lately. Now to put all of the Space Marine heads and the other assorted gubbins back in the bag, because it's important to keep your little bits in some sort of packaging. Oh yeah, Ivan. Where did that go? I have some things in here that belong to Ivan. This guy being a prime example. Because for those of you in chat that don't know, Ivan lived with us for like 12 months. And he brought all of his 40k stuff with him, as you should, when you move into a new home. And he left a load of it in the carpet when he left, so I claimed it. Yeah, I'm with Cyborg there. If I ever win the lottery, Goth Girl, you are getting a substantial amount of money to help you on your journey. After I've paid my mortgage off, because, you know, got to keep a roof over my head first. You defeated the carpet monster. Okay, so we've got a nice shiny new head for this guy, which is considerably more sinister than the one he came with. Phrasing, Ivan. So let's affix this guy's new head before I lose it. Just gonna put some glue right there in the whole old neck hole. One thing I really like about this glue is you don't have to rush around with it. It stays tacky for quite some time, but once you've connected two pieces, they are stuck. There we go. Have him looking off into the distance like he's seen somebody he recognises. It's always nice to add a little bit of dynamic nature to your dudes. Oh, now I've got to be really careful when I cut this piece off because of that little sharp bit at the end of his pistol. Pistol? Gun? His weapon. There we go. Did it without causing any damage. Exactly, Kian. You want it as sinister as possible. Or as edgy as possible. You want to be able to cut yourself on the edge. Oh, you've got the first edition of Lancer, nice. Slow was playing in a Lancer RP for a little while, but has had to drop out for a few reasons. But it sounded like it was a lot of fun. Ooh, Sophia, what food did you have? Was it tasty? So you'll probably find as well, chat, that I only managed to get like one model built per stream, if that. Partially because I'm, you know, chilling out and chatting with you guys. Because this isn't strictly about me hobbying, it's about me spending time with you lovely folks. And, you know, us all getting a chance to wind down. What are you trying to say about Linkin Park, Cyborg? But yeah, so we'll maybe get one done per session, and when it comes to painting them, it'll probably take me even longer because I like to take my time with my minis usually. Though when I get into a groove, as Ivan will be able to attest, I won't move until I've finished it. So when we get round to the painting side of things, there may be a couple of elongated streams. Eldrad was painted in a single sitting, for example. It was a very painful sitting. Oh yeah, we had some on here, didn't we? There we go. I used to say that as well, Goth Girl, but, well, I don't know why. I just sort of found it one day. It goes away most of the time, you know? Like, I'll sit there for months and not do any hobbying at all. Or, oh, that's how he's supposed to go together. Okay. So these have got, like, specifically shaped, for want of a better description, nubs that you have to connect things to. So I could do that to him, but then he'd look silly. So yeah, that'd be alright. Converted the old Warhammer Fantasy female vampire lord model into an Archon for Drakari army. That's really cool, Buff Grinch. You can tell this glue's getting a bit old now because it's a bit too tacky. I'm gonna have to buy some more soon. I'm trying to avoid it. But I've had it since probably about September of last year, so it's done well. Oh, Goth Girl, I wouldn't stress yourself about it, to be honest with you. Oh no. I will be right back, folks. Cause, oh, wait, I heard Slow. Never mind, I think Slow's gonna get the groceries in for me. Oops. Yep, Slow's getting the groceries in for me. I don't have to go anywhere. Best husband. Well, best basically husband. He is the hubby squig. Porthos has gone to investigate. Okay, so we got that. And a head that doesn't belong to him, but does now. Slow is a good egg, isn't he? He is the bestest egg. Or at least I think he is. We are looking for... Oh, he holds a knife! This guy holds a knife. Or at least it looks like a knife in the picture. Yep, there it is. Big knife. Knife. He's clearly going to eat a nice steak. Oh yeah, Ivan, that's why he's technically my husband, not actually my husband. Because he's your husband. I'm just a bit on the side. Please excuse any muffled swearing that you can hear as he packs away the groceries in the next room, because as he mentioned earlier, our walls are really thin. Coming to the fight dome, the husband squig versus the wife borg. No, we don't do fights here. No fighting, only friendship. Elslo is mocking the fact that I've bought cheese. So this guy's elbow has quite a lot of Nord lines on it. What about tea making? Yeah, we can make tea. Tea is a thing we can do here. No fighting though. Did you just buy 15 kilograms of cheese? I wish I had, but they don't have that much cheese. It's soap. Yes. I'm aware that probably sounded to everyone in chat like Slow had never seen a bar of soap before, but it's hand soap. It's just in a really weird bottle. I fight for my friends. Me too. I will totally go overly protective mama bear on people if they hurt my friends. Competitive tea making is probably a thing, to be fair, Goth Girl. I've quite enjoyed watching biscuit dueling, or tea dueling, as it's called. Which is where you brew a cup of tea and you and your opponent hold a biscuit into the tea, and whoever pulls the biscuit out and eats it first loses, unless the other person's biscuit crumbles in the tea. It is like the steampunk equivalent of chicken. Not that I've ever played chicken. Yay! I think that's a good thing, right, Goth Girl? That, Cyborg, is because you're awesome, and yes. While it may lose me some followers, hashtag you will not be missed. Trans rights are human rights, and no lives matter until Black Lives Matter. I'd play chicken, but I'm afraid. That was very clever, Zatheo. Barnet, I think hobnobs are actually banned from tea dueling. I think it has to be like, is it nice biscuits? Or shortbreads? I don't know. But you both have to use the same kind of biscuit, otherwise it's cheating. I think there's a certain element of the whole bet you can't put a round tree fruit pastel in your mouth without chewing to it as well. Now, I'm supposed to finish in 5 minutes, but I also started about 5 minutes late because I had some technical difficulties. Would folks like me to go over by 5 minutes? I try that every time I get fruit pastels. Me too, Goth Girl, me too. I've not had fruit pastels in a long time though. Oh no, Twitch. That sucks. Twitch, stop ruining things for my viewers. They want to watch me shave plastic off of a dude's elbow. It's riveting. Yeah, you definitely need to rectify it, Destroyer. Dip shortbread is lush. Oh, has it had an update, Kian? I know it keeps telling me that I need to, Ooh, that actually kind of fits quite snugly without any glue. I'm still going to glue it, but, not chewing a Malteser, yeah. Is dwarf bread what I think it is, Ivan? Or is it actually just dwarven bread? Because I feel like there's a euphemism there that I'm missing. Oh, Buff Grinch, that'd be so cool. I have thought about making my XCOM character as a miniature. Because after Christian did that piece of art, oh my god, that was amazing. And now I've got that lovely little bit of art of Vulpir that one of the artists on Twitter did as well. So, you know. I have tried chocolate chip shortbread cookies, Destroyer. Hey guys, guess what? I got a dude. And in spite of distractions, it only took me about 55 minutes. Yes, okay, Ivan, you were talking about the Discworld kind of dwarven bread, not something else that I don't know about. So I'm not going to do any of the jump packs whilst I'm building these guys, because I'm actually going to do the jump packs separately, so that I can get to all of the nice detail on the back and actually put some lightning bolts and stuff on the back of his armour. So that's another marine build. And I haven't done anything particularly fancy with him, not like I have with some of the others. I do want to use some of my Night Lord's pauldrons though, so I might do that on the next one. Okay, so who's next? Let's see. 20 and 19, okay. Oh, there's 19, that was easy. It is graphically, sorry. The microphone is very, very good, unfortunately, and Porthos's water bowl and food bowl are quite nearby. And also he's hiding under the table at the moment. We've had quite a lot of thunderstorms here today, so he's not been particularly happy. Oh, Ivan, you should totally do that. You could do what I've done and get in touch with one of the artists that's doing art for people who've donated to one of the Black Lives Matter causes and ask if they would be interested in doing it in exchange for a donation to a charity, which is what I did. And I will sing their praises to the high heavens because it's such a nice piece of artwork and it took them such a short amount of time to do. Cloudburst. Yeah, we had something like that here as well, Goth Girl. Except we got the monsoon level rain and hail without any clouds and the sun was still in the sky. It was ever so confusing. Oh, Ivan, you're so mean to Slow. He's not even here to argue with you. I have no idea where that went. I know where that one went though. I am the demonic goings on in the neighbourhood, Goth Girl. Yes, I did, Barna. I was just logging off of my computer when it really heated up, which is good because Porthos was terrified. Bless him. I had to give him a sleepy biscuit. And it calmed him down, but he didn't go to sleep. Can't sleep, the sky will eat me. Okay. wow, I was like 10 minutes late starting. Now I feel really guilty. Having more Twitch problems, Goth Girl. I hope it sorts itself out soon. It might be the weather. I know our net goes really fucky when the weather's bad. So I might not necessarily always be doing minis on this stream because I'm one of those crazy people with lots and lots of hobbies. I've got a couple of cross stitches that I need to finish. I'm learning how to do proper embroidery. A lot of it will probably end up being 40k flavoured or in some way geeky because I is what I is. But yeah, so it might not necessarily always be you watching me make slightly larger amorphous grey blobs out of slightly smaller amorphous grey blobs. Oh, Goth Girl, you should do it. I'd be fascinated by that. I love watching stuff being built, and I've got a real soft spot for Odd Tinkering. It's a YouTube channel. He does restorations of games consoles and like old historical, for want of a better description, artifact and stuff like that. Are you going full Sinistar on us, Cyborg? But yeah, Goth Girl, when you've got a desk that you can do it on, you should do it. Heck, it doesn't even have to be like a proper desk. It could be like a coffee table or whatever. You know? What I'm saying is, do it now. Run, run, run. Oh, I haven't played Sinistar in so long. I should play it again. I have the Midway collection for the Mega Drive, so I totally could play it because the Mega Drive's hooked up in the living room. But I'm lazy. Oh yeah, one of my favourite things about having compression gloves on, as you may have noticed, is that I'm cleaning my blade off constantly on them. It's like the equivalent of licking your paintbrush. Well, sticking your paintbrush in your mouth, I should say. Okay. Better. Do we have any mold lines? We do. In all the hard to reach places. Oh no, don't do that, Goth Girl. Not with a soldering iron. That's not fun at all. You know, one of my biggest inspirations for the way I paint miniatures and the way I approach life in general, to be honest with you, is Bob Ross. So when I was a kid, me and my dad used to watch a lot of Bob Ross.
Well, that must have been my imagination. It makes me
And
desperately alone.
like the way he was just like, anyone can do this. You just got to give it a try. That really resonated with me. And he was just such a kind, gentle soul. But yeah, so he's a big inspiration for the way I do things. And like, I would love it if I could have any level of Bob Ross's sort of supreme chillness about my streams. I mean, that's kind of what the music's for, because let's face it, I am not Bob Ross. I wish I was. That afro, woof, it's fucking amazing. Also, pocket squirrels. Who doesn't love pocket squirrels? I bet it did, Goth Girl. Ivan, I'm surprised they let you do anything that involved anything even remotely dangerous. I'm surprised they let you have scissors, like safety scissors. No offense or anything, dude, but you are the clumsiest person I have ever met. And bless you, it's actually quite endearing, but I don't know how anyone would be daft enough to let you near something that has pyro in its name, supervised or otherwise. Oh, thank you, Gothgo. I'm glad to hear that. I do try. I like to present a calming atmosphere. Don't always work out that way. Sure, the people I work with would probably disagree. There's a feather stuck in my glove. Off you go, feather. Okay, so let's get this guy's torso stuck together, and we'll clear the mould lines off of the big bit once I've got a bit more to hold on to. Woof. And we'll go from there. I might, at that point, end the stream. And we'll come back next week and finish him off. Hey, Inquisitor! How are you doing, friend? Now I feel like I'm definitely going to have to keep going for a little bit, because otherwise Inquisitor's got to have nothing. And you are my favourite Inquisitor, so we have to be nice to you. Try and move back in a bit. You honestly don't realise how difficult it is to actually record yourself doing something like this until you start doing it and realise that you can't stick your head where you normally would, and you can't like bunch yourself in properly because people won't be able to see what you're doing. Ooh, pasta with broccoli and ham, that sounds lush. That sounds like what I want to have tonight, but we don't have any ham. We have corn chicken though. I could have corn chicken and broccoli and pasta. Or I could just have buttered noodles. I don't think the food that I got out for me and Slow to eat is actually defrosted. And I think he's actually being very, very kind and patient right now and waiting for me to finish streaming so he can cook himself some food. In spite of how hungry he is. He is a good bean. Oh, Cyborg. I mean, that's hilarious and brilliant, and I will have to try it at some point. I mean, hopefully I never have the need to, but there you go. There's a guy that I used to work with who cycled into work, and on 3 separate occasions he was involved in a road traffic collision, shall we say, on his way to work on his bike. And on one of those occasions he went right through the back of somebody's rear windscreen. He was fine. He survived. Injured himself pretty badly. I think he like shattered his collarbone or something like that, but yeah, cyclists can be interesting. That's for sure. Oh, I bet you are, Ivan. Congratulations on that, by the way. And yeah, Cyborg, the Home Pride stuff's not very good. It used to be alright, but I don't personally rate it these days. Do I want to be crazy, chat? Do I want to be crazy and do something that might possibly damage this miniature irrevocably? No, Home Pride is a brand. They're not great. They used to be really, really popular back in the day. They do stuff like Flower as well. Always do the crazy thing. Okay. I'm gonna do the crazy thing. This is probably gonna be quite painful to watch, so forgive me, folks. And it's gonna take a while too. Actually. What's the blade on this bad boy like? Because I've not used this one in a while. Oh yeah, that's sharp. There we go. It's not a stream unless you make chat hungry. It's not a stream unless Cyborg makes chat hungry. Yes, I'm looking at you, Cyborg. Seriously, your food porn is amazing though. Really? I didn't know that. I mean, I don't like it, so I guess I wouldn't know that. I'm gonna do to this guy, by the way, folks, what I did to this guy. Except without the batty head, because I've run out of those. But that involves removing this shoulder. Which is quite the operation, as you can see. Got to make sure that I don't cut into where his jump pack goes, and that I don't cut into anything that isn't technically his shoulder. Because otherwise I'm going to have my work cut out for me when I put the new shoulder pad on. I mean, I'm going to have my work cut out for me anyway, because I'm basically going to have to build him a new shoulder. It's coming. I think that'd be fab, Cyborg. You should totally do it. Drinking while you're cooking's fine. Loads of people do it. It's a one for the pot, one for me situation, right? Goth Girl is a very, very good mod. She has been nothing but stellar as a mod for me. Yeah, exactly, Cyborg. That's exactly how you do it. It's certainly how I do it when I cook with alcohol. Some of those recipes don't even contain alcohol. This is really slow. Tidders is a good bean. Tidders is a very good bean. Ooh. Okay, so we're making progress. Oh yeah, there we go. Can you see that, chat? Well, for one thing, he's hanging on to the blade by himself now. And that's half of his shoulder removed. There we go. Whoop, whoop. We done it. How much damage did we cause? Actually, with a little bit of a touch-up, that is a perfectly good pauldron to use on another miniature. Which is what I was hoping for. I mean, it will need a bit of a touch-up. We'll need some liquid green on it to cover up the bit where I made the massive mess. And yeah, that doesn't look great right now, but that's fine. Look at that gaping hole in him though. Damn. Okay, what I'm actually going to do before I go any further is I'm going to find his other arm so that we can see how much extra green stuff we're going to need to pad out his shoulder. 21. Okay, let's find 21. Oh, yeah, I'm going one piece at a time on the sprue as well because some of the pieces are very, very similar to each other. And the last thing I want to do is put myself in a position where I have no idea which pieces are which. Oh, Destroyer! Good job we're not a family-friendly stream, huh? Okay. I can totally imagine, to be fair, a Night Lord saying something like that. Brother, look at this gaping wound. Hey, Wheezy. How you doing, friend? Oh yeah, definitely more of an Emperor's Children thing. But, you know, Night Lords are edgy. So, okay. So actually we don't need to give him that much of an additional shoulder. That's good. We'll need to fill that in though. Give it something to actually, you know, again, hang on to. Woof. Tape things up and put up a telescope. Oh my god, you've got your telescope set up. That's fab. Congratulations, Wheezy. Right, I'm going to take my compression gloves off now because as much as they are helping with my hands, I do not want to get green stuff on them. Now, I always make way too much green stuff when I'm doing this, so I'm going to try and make too little this time. And I think what we'll do is I'll sort his shoulder out, I'll get his arm attached, put his pauldron on, and then that'll be it for today. So I'm just, for anyone that's never used green stuff before, you can get this basically anywhere, just search for green stuff, you don't have to get it from Games Workshop. I, up until recently, was getting mine from a place called Green Stuff World, because, you know, it's in the name. Okay, I hope my joints won't go fucky on camera, but I don't really notice when my hands are being hypermobile. It's mostly my feet that I have the problem with, and you'll never see those on camera, so you're all good. Yeah, so... Too little! Indeed, Wheezy. So I'm just making it nice and green. Trying to make the colour as nice and even as possible so that it's, you know, thoroughly mixed. So, yeah, for those that haven't used green stuff before, it's kind of like a modelling clay, but it sets really fast. What I'm going to do is, I'm expecting some more filth from Destroyer here. I'm just going to insert it into the hole and press it in so that that hole's nicely filled in. See, I knew it, Destroyer. I can always count on you for a bit of lewd. Woof. It's okay. We're allowed a little bit of lewd in here. Hi, Brian. Right. So that's nice and flat now. So we've got something for this to actually be stuck onto because it's a flat surface. So again, I've made way too much green stuff, but that's okay. We'll probably need a little bit more in a minute anyway. Just going to put a little bit more in there. So I'd rather it be poking out a bit. That is very true, Oscar. And if there's one thing that we don't do in this channel, it's hypocrisy. Or we try not to. So, there we go. Nice flat surface for the arm to be adhered to now. In theory, I'm supposed to wait until this is thoroughly dry before I do anything else, but I'm not going to because heck the rules. I'm sure there's hobbyists watching this stream, or even not, going, oh, as they sense a disturbance in the force. But that's me. I'm disturbing. So, gonna get one of my Mark IV Night Lord's shoulder pads, which I got from Forge World. Can't remember how much they cost. I think they were quite expensive, to be fair, but you know. Night Lords. So again, I've trimmed it nice and far away from the actual pauldron. Normally with stuff like this, you're supposed to give it a good wash first. I think I probably already washed these ages and ages ago, still on the sprue. But you can normally tell if they need a wash because they've got like a slightly greasy consistency. But if you have anything like that that you bought from Forge World that's that's made of resin or anything like that, if it does need a wash, just a little bit of warm soapy water in a Tupperware tub or a glass or whatever. There we go. You ever tried mixing green stuff and Milliput together? No, I haven't, Destroyer. What happens when you mix green stuff and Milliput together? Why do I feel like there's a joke coming on here? Of course they were expensive at Forge World. Yeah, I know. So I've got like bonus green stuff there that I'm just going to stick there. I'll probably fiddle with it a little bit as I'm going along just to keep it active, so it doesn't go like dry and gross and stuff. Right. So just gonna pop his shoulder on there, pop the shoulder pad over the top and see what we need, if anything. Actually, I don't think we'll need any additional green stuff because this shoulder pad is smaller than the shoulder pads that are on the original model. So I think we'll have to put it like that. You can see that that flat surface is nice and flat still, and it's nice and open. So that's what we're going for. Yeah, that'll work. Hello, psychologist. How are you doing, friend? Oh, that's really neat, Story. I'll have to give that a go. I don't have any milliput at the minute, but that's definitely something to try. Oh, graphically, that does sound fun. I picked that bundle up, but I haven't actually redeemed anything from it yet, because I have this terrible habit of buying Humble Bundles and things like Humble Bundles, and then not actually redeeming stuff. Like, I picked up the most recent Humble Bundle, and I think I actually already own everything that's in that bundle, so folks on the Sniper and Wib Discord, you may get the opportunity for some freebies in the next few days. I got a bundle problem. But it's meant that the value of my Steam library is considerably higher than what I've paid for everything in it. So, you know, small victory. Very small victory. Hey, Goth Girl. Yeah, Zathia. That's the one I'm talking about, yeah. Oh, good luck with your apothecary, psychologist. There we go. Right, so I've actually ended up putting a tiny bit of green stuff inside the pauldron, just so that it stops the arm from moving about too much. Elite Dangerous might have been in it. I can't remember. I basically looked at some of the games, went, I definitely don't own these ones, and it's for charity, so I'll buy it. Because that's what I do when I've just been paid. I'm terrible like that. But it was for charity, so not that terrible, I guess? I don't know. Oh, thank you to everybody that was involved in my birthday stream at the weekend, by the way. I actually managed to purchase some extra bits for my new hobby case, so thanks to your generosity. I have got an LED light for it, and some paint storage that wouldn't have been included otherwise. Okay, I'm gonna have to fiddle with that a little bit because it doesn't look quite right. This is the arm I was supposed to use, isn't it? Positive it is. Oh, he's supposed to be holding it like that. Okay, that makes sense. And then we'll put it there. What do you think, chat? Does that look okay? Oh, Zathio. Page 2 of 59 of stuff I need to redeem. Help my soul. I'm afraid I can't help you there graphically. I'm about the same. The woman is doing the Minecraft. Oh crap, it's 7:30. Okay, I have gone on a lot longer than I intended to. But I did exactly what I said I would do. I tell you what, seeing as Brody's now streaming, how about we raid her? How does that sound, folks? Gonna have to fix his green stuff because it's gone a bit goopy. But yeah, okay. So we'll leave him like that for now, and once he's dry, I'll tidy up the green stuff. But I'll probably do that off stream. Raid Shadow Legends. No. Okay. Okay, I think I've got Brody's account name right. Let's see. Yep, sorted. Right, folks, thank you very much for joining me for my first Hobby Happy Hour, which was more like Hobby Happy an hour and a half. We're going to go raid Brody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Wash your fucking hands. And I will see you all on Friday with Slow. Take care, folks.